Good morning, friends. Welcome. Just a little noodle in there, and if things weren't weird enough yesterday, you didn't catch it. Chief Crow, Flat Earth Worms joined me for Unintended Consequences. Unintended butter consequences, right? For sure. I had 2 double Cafe Verdes yesterday, so I was really out there, as was Chief Crow. It was became pretty apparent he wasn't going to just let me do a regular interview, so we had to get creative, and we did. It was fun. I know it was a trip. I read back through some of the chat log, and I was like, oh dear. Some people were like, what's going on? Well, it is what it is. He's an interesting guy, and I love him. I love talking with him. I love playing music with him. He's a little uncomfortable, as you can tell, just talking to people. He's just not his thing, and so he had been kind enough to agree to do the program, but he did want to focus around music, and so we did. And I hope that was enjoyable for you. It certainly was for us. In fact, at the end, we came out with plans, at least loose plans. We want to just kind of do some pop-up shows and maybe some house concerts. Maybe with Jason Lindgren, he's wanting to do some stuff like that too. And so we'll have to see what we can do with that. But we're certainly looking at a Flatober West kind of thing. I know Dottie Sutherland was kind of into it, and so we're going to see what we can do with getting some folks together and have maybe a bigger event this summer. But Chief Crow and I were talking about just doing a couple of little house things. Just show up at a couple of coffee shops, give you a little, just 48 hours notice or something, and just show up and play somewhere. So we're going to see how that works out. But clearly, we're okay. If we can do this without seeing each other and several seconds away in terms of delay time, and still make it work, then certainly in person we can do it without much rehearsal as well. And so we think we can just kind of start showing up and noodling, and wouldn't that be fun? So I think we're going to do that. Look for that coming soon. And if things weren't quite weird enough there, well, guess what? Tonight, Ceiling Fan Man joins me again for Sort of Scriptural, and that'll be a trip, as always. I love Ceiling Fan Man. He's become a really close and good personal friend of mine, as well as I'm just a nutty guy, and we share similar senses of humor. I sell him some of my jokes, so he gets more following. No, I give it to him. I don't charge him for it. We pass jokes back and forth all the time. We do, but usually they come out on his channel. I'm like, hey, didn't I tell you that joke? It's all good, man. I do love Ceiling Fan Man. He is not only a trip, but he's a terrific guy. And just love he and his wife to death. And again, just can't wait to get back and see him again. We're just sort of I've been overburdened since coming back from the Solar Return Festival, which was, again, if you probably are sick of hearing about it at this point, but man, was that not only a trip, but just a delight. Just so much fun. To be able to spend time with you guys and really kind of lay eyes on people and put a face to the name. It's really it's really good stuff, and we need more of it. I don't know if she's in the chat right now, but Ronna Lee, if you're here or if you come by, thank you so much. That was a most exorbitant gift. Just got in the mail something from Alaska. I was like, oh my gosh, and it was so heavy. I'm like, this cost a fortune to get here. And I saw how she did it, and I'm like, very tricky. I like it. But well done and well received. Thank you so much. And it was addressed to Great Baldini. And I was like, right on. A gift for the missus. How beautiful is that? It was a lovely thought and a lovely, it's going to absolutely get to good use. So thank you. If you're wondering, well, you're just going to keep wondering because I won't tell you. Hey, Karen B., welcome. Michelle Waldo, Lungs, good to see you. And Love and the Light, great to see you. Nachakete, man, how are you, my friend? I love those photos that you send me. Thank you so much. It really makes me feel like closer to you. I mean, not in a prison way, of course, but... Hey, Robert Page, how are you? David Reif, my friend, great to see you. Had so much fun getting to know you personally. You're such a terrific guy. If you don't know David, you should get to know him. He's a really terrific individual, and I have watched him grow so dramatically, so fast over such a short period of time. Couldn't be more proud as a papa. I've just kind of adopted some of you folks as my kids. So whether you like it or not, sorry. Hey, Kay Westbury, great to see you, my friend. How are you? Rob, Georgie, hey, great to see you, my friend. I couldn't be more excited. Georgie asked me to come on one of his podcasts. He's starting a couple of podcasts as well. So I'd be delighted to join you as well. Point 0.02. I thought it was 0.025. I'm like, hey, I know that. No, how did we get here? How are you, Captain Mojo, Gubby, all my friends? It's the whole crowd. You've already been adopted. Not just kidding. Well done. Well played, sir. All righty. Let's see. What did I have for you this morning? I think we're just going to jump into some Proverbs this morning and just sort of let it be. But again, you don't want to miss this tonight with Ceiling Fan Man. I'm sure we're going to dive into some very interesting stuff. I was going to comment on it today. Oh, one of the things I was mentioning everybody is I get some of the most beautiful emails and notes and cards from people. Thank you so much. And I got one of the most touching ones overnight from a guy in our community. And we just barely met at Solar Return. We didn't get to spend a lot of time together. But really heartfelt and touching email. Thank you for that. Responded quickly, but yeah, let's chat. I think there are so many at this point who are, with the world going the way it is, who are kind of signing on to this idea of this tribing up and trying to get together and pursue life together, rather than try to fight to stay in the society that we want no part of, to simply create our own as best we can with what resources we have available to us. So I think we're going to do our best to pursue that. And those who are interested in it, we're just going to keep going. So this month, expect to see at least a little bit of movement here, provided I feel a little bit better. I've been kind of beat down, but we'll definitely move forward with that, and hopefully we'll see some activity on that this year in earnest. By the fall, hopefully I will be out of Seattle and we'll be stepping into the next step of our journey here. So stay tuned for that, and if that's, again, something you're interested in, I know more and more people are interested in that, stepping away from the matrix and into real life. And I know it will be costly in a variety of ways, not only to a degree financial, because we have to invest and find a place and pay for it, presumably. They won't just give it to us, but we'll have to figure that out. But also, the cost in terms of relationships. I think everybody here is familiar with that and what it costs to pursue truth. It costs everything. Because you're going to lose many of your relationships, family, friends, jobs, your position in society. It happens. And so if it's going to be costly, let's get something out of it, yeah? So let's build our own place together. We know, again, at least I'm not naive enough to think that they're just going to let us do that for indefinitely without trying to stop it. But I think if we work out the issues, there inevitably are going to be mistakes and errors made. I mean, we want to avoid them, of course, but do what we can to pursue as best we can, figuring things out. And if we do it in a kind of a safe area, or at least a place that we have a safety net a little bit, then once we get it worked out, as the poop gets thicker, then maybe we have to go further away, but at least we can know what we're doing a little bit better. How about that? We'll leave it there. But yeah, we don't want to make ourselves a target, certainly. But I think in a way we already have. Certainly they monitor everything that we do and say, and we have self-identified as dissidents simply by virtue of joining up together and talking about these things. They know that we're not on board with their plans. So yeah, it is going to get serious, Kurt. I agree with that. And I think it already is serious. I think many people just aren't aware of how serious it is. The hole is in the Titanic, and the band is playing on, but many people are not wanting to hit those lifeboats because it's unsinkable, right? Yeah, well, think again. Exactly. You're already on those lists. Yep, all of them. And we self-identified, right? But it's necessary in order for us to be able to talk to one another. So, I mean, what do you think social media is all about? The original idea was to identify people according to their associations and their friends. And then they said, oh, people will do that willingly. They'll give us all the data we want. We just tell them, we just make it free. Hello, Facebook. Yeah. So, in any case, here we are. And it's great to be here with you. Because if it were going to, if the boat is going under, there's nobody I'd rather swim with than you guys. And if we can build our own little life raft, so much the better. So I genuinely love you too, Longs. This whole group is pretty phenomenal. It's the best group of people I have ever met in my life. All right, we're going to pick up Proverbs 10 and 11 today. I'll do it from the New International Version, if you'll bear with me. We'll just jump right in. These are the Proverbs of Solomon. A wise son brings joy to his father, but a foolish son brings grief to his mother. Ill-gotten treasures have no lasting value, but righteousness delivers from death. The Lord does not let the righteous go hungry, but he thwarts the craving of the wicked. Lazy hands make for poverty, but diligent hands bring wealth. He who gathers crops in summer is a prudent son, but he who sleeps during harvest is a disgraceful son. Blessings crown the head of the righteous, but violence overwhelms the mouth of the wicked. The name of the righteous is used in blessings, but the name of the wicked will rot. The wise in heart accept commands, but a chattering fool comes to ruin. Whoever walks in integrity walks securely, but whoever takes crooked paths will be found out. Whoever winks maliciously causes grief, and a chattering fool comes to ruin. The mouth of the righteous is a fountain of life, but the mouth of the wicked conceals violence. Hatred stirs up conflict, but love covers over all wrongs. Wisdom is found on the lips of the discerning, but a rod is for the back of the one who has no sense. The wise store up knowledge, but the mouth of a fool invites ruin. The wealth of the rich is their fortified city, but the poverty is the ruin of the poor. The wages of the righteous is life, but the earnings of the wicked are sin and death. Whoever heeds discipline shows the way to life, but whoever ignores correction leads others astray. Whoever conceals hatred with lying lips and spreads slander is a fool. Sin is not ended by multiplying words, but the prudent hold their tongue. The tongue of the righteous is choice silver, but the heart of the wicked is of little value. The lips of the righteous nourish many, but fools die for lack of sense. The blessing of the Lord brings wealth without painful toil for it. The fool finds pleasure in wicked schemes, but a person of understanding delights in wisdom. What the wicked dread will overtake them, while the righteous, they will have their desires granted. When the storm has swept by, the wicked are gone, but the righteous stand firm forever. As vinegar to the teeth and smoke to the eyes, so are sluggards to those who send them. The fear of the Lord adds length to life, but the years of the wicked are cut short. The prospect of the righteous is joy, but the hopes of the wicked come to nothing. The way of the Lord is a refuge for the blameless, but it is the ruin of those who do evil. The righteous will never be uprooted, but the wicked will not remain in the land. From the mouth of the righteous comes the fruit of wisdom, but a perverse tongue will be silenced. The lips of the righteous know what finds favor, but the mouth of the wicked only what is perverse. It's Proverbs 10 from the New International Version. Before I move on to today's, which is Proverbs 11, just bear in mind again that the precept here is that if, again, you are unfamiliar with Scripture, or even if you are and you want a great start in Scripture, or, as we're told in the book of James, if anyone lack wisdom, let him ask. And God, who is generous with all things, will give you without, he won't beat you up, right, for asking. There is an enormous amount of wisdom, what I call ancient wisdom, for a modern world right here in the book of Proverbs. There are 31 chapters, and as such, you can read one per day for 31 days, each in a month. Do that every day for 3 months and see if it does not somehow find its way into you. I think you will find its wisdom to be most invaluable. There are some amazing, thoughtful insights into mankind, not only the material world, the physical world, but the spiritual world as well. So that is that's the idea here. Again, there are plenty of other places to find great wisdom and wonderful ideations within Scripture of all kinds. But here, the book of Proverbs, again, if you're unfamiliar with the way that they wrote, it is a very different way. Most of the biblical Scripture, again, is written in an ancient style that some people find daunting, challenging for the modern ear to make much sense of. So there are a variety of translations, of course, you can look at. Some stray a little bit further from the original language. Some put it into a bit different, more modern sensibility, but it does change some of the original meaning. You kind of have to grab a bunch of them and sort of put it together and distill it. And this is one of the things that I will do from time to time, called it the revised Baldini version, right? Just kind of take all of them, put it together, and try to present the ideas as best I can. Not doing that today. We're just reading directly from one of the modern translations, the New International Version. And I'll continue on with Proverbs 11. I'm with you, Nachiketa. I don't affiliate I think labels are for soup cans, right? So the closest I would say is that I try to follow the teachings of Jesus, or the way, as best I can, but that is outside any organization other than just my friends here. Proverbs chapter 11. The Lord detests dishonest scales, but accurate weights find favor with him. When pride comes, then comes disgrace, but with humility comes wisdom. The integrity of the upright guides them, but the unfaithful are destroyed by their duplicity. Wealth is worthless in the day of wrath, but righteousness delivers from death. The righteousness of the blameless makes their paths straight, but the wicked are brought down by their own wickedness. The righteousness of the upright delivers them, but the unfaithful are trapped by their own evil desires. Hopes placed in mortals will die with them. All the promise of their power comes to nothing. The righteous person is rescued from trouble, and it falls on the heads of the wicked instead. With their mouth, the godless destroy their neighbors, but through knowledge, the righteous will escape. When the righteous prosper, the city rejoices. When the wicked perish, there are shouts of joy. Through the blessing of the upright, a city is exalted, but by the mouth of the wicked it is destroyed. Whoever derides their neighbor has no sense, but the one who has understanding holds their tongue. A gossip betrays confidence, but a trustworthy person can keep a secret. For lack of guidance, a nation falls, but victory is won through many advisors. Whoever puts up security for a stranger will surely suffer, but whoever refuses to shake hands in pledge keeps themselves safe. A kind-hearted woman gains honor, but ruthless men gain only wealth. Those who are kind benefit themselves, but the cruel bring ruin on themselves. A wicked person earns deceptive wages, but one who sows righteousness reaps a sure reward. Truly, the righteous attain life, but whoever pursues evil finds death instead. The Lord detests those whose hearts are perverse, but he delights in those whose ways are blameless. Be sure of this, the wicked will not go unpunished, but those who are righteous will go free. Like a gold ring in a pig's snout is a beautiful woman who shows no discretion. The desire of the righteous ends only in good, but the hope of the wicked only in wrath. One person gives freely, but gains even more, and another withholds unduly, but comes only to poverty. A generous person will prosper, and whoever refreshes others will be refreshed. People curse the one who hoards grain, but they pray God's blessings on the one who is willing to sell in time of need. Whoever seeks out good finds favor, but evil comes to the one who seeks it out. Those who trust in their riches will fall, but the righteous will thrive like a green leaf. Whoever brings ruin on their family will inherit only the wind, and the fool will be servant to the wise. The fruit of the righteous is a tree of life, and the one who is wise saves lives. If the righteous receive their due on earth, how much more the ungodly and the sinner? Wise words from the words of Solomon, the son of King David, from Proverbs chapter 10 and 11 from the New International Version. Right here on Ancient Wisdom for a Modern World with your friend, the Great Baldini. That's me. You guys, it's always, again, a pleasure to be with you every time. As you can probably tell, I'm just a bit worn out, and so we're going to wrap it up here, but I'll be back this evening, 5 p.m. Pacific, that's 8 p.m. Eastern Time, with our friend, Ceiling Fan Man. We're going to dig into some more interesting stuff, both from the Book of Psalms, but also from the pages around us, taking a look and kind of comparing what's happening in the news with what's happening in the pages of Scripture? What? Yeah, we're going to do that. All right, kids. I know Ceiling Fan Man's going, what did you get me into? I don't have any. What's happening? So, there you go. Alrighty then. As usual, I will wrap it up with something from the old school, let's see, way old recordings from Joe and I. There aren't too many to choose from, so you have that going on. I'll do this one for you. This is called Too Much, and it's one of the later ones, like 1986, something like that. I hope you enjoy it, and we'll be back this evening. Hope you have a great day. Be blessed, everybody. Take care.
There's a hunger of the soul this time. Never take more than you give. Never break what you cannot replace. Things easily shine.